actually. I bought the Save the World. So there's two game modes.
Okay.
There's Battle Royale, which everyone plays. You know, shout out to Season 4, Golden Scar, putting headshots down. You know what I'm saying? Victories and whatnot. So you have the Battle Royale, where it's just 100 players, same map, everyone fights each other. You've played Fortnite, right?
I was about to say, I've played a couple matches of Fortnite.
Okay, so you've gotten to the point where you see the storm kind of shrinks in or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you...
I'm also a PUBG player. So,
okay.
I understand, I totally understand,
yeah.
the concept behind the closing in or whatnot. So,
indeed. So, definitely. So, you got that. So, you've got your normal Fortnite. It's really good. So, you go over and you're like, all right, you're doing this, get your kills, get your builds. It's really good. It's fun. It's addictive. Mm-hmm. Okay, so... on the other side, you have Save the World, which is PvE, which is you playing the game.
I saw that listed. Right. I've just never seen anybody play it.
So I, at the time, I think it was a deal going on. It was like a sale or something. And you can get it for cheaper than what it was originally at. And so it's like the Founders version. It was like, I spent like $80. Like, why not? Because at the time, I was like, well, give it a try.
If you're going in, you're going in?
Yeah. I actually, honestly, shout out to my neighbor who I was like, hey, I'm going to buy Fortnite. And he's like, yeah, what's Fortnite? So I showed him. We played the free back and forth. And he's like, yeah, this is sick. And then one day he walks up on me. He's like, you ever thought about paying for the actual game? And I was like, no, my friend.
It's a free game.
It's a free game.
That's how they get you.
That's how they get you. You want money taken? Because that's how you get money taken.
You silly man.
Yeah, right? And so, like, 2 days go by. And then he's like, you know what? Screw it, bro. I'm going to buy it. And so it's kind of like one of the situations where you're like, I want it too, you know? And so
well,
he buys
if you're getting it.
Yeah, well, I want to play it. So he buys it, and then super player nerd friend goes, nah, I'm going to buy you a copy so you don't have any excuse. I was like, dang, yay, but dang, so now I'm obligated, right? So I'm playing. PvE, Save the World, Fortnite is awesome.
Yeah.
It's super amazing. So I feel like the same vein with the arcade for Far Cry, you get that for Save the World. So basically the idea is that the storm covers the whole world and it's just destroying stuff, turning people into zombies and stuff like that, right? So, husks is what they're called. They're monsters.
Okay.
They're not necessarily zombies, but they turn to people and they're just still trying to come at you. So
Mass Effect isn't using that term anymore.
Yeah,
so
right. Yes, exactly.
They don't need it.
They don't need it. We're going to use it. So basically, you use the same building aspect while you're going to these points, and you're setting up these things called storm shields, right? And the storm shield basically dissipates the storm in that area, and so you're basically setting up storm shields to get the world back to a place because you're just dispelling the storm that's everywhere, right?
Got it.
And so you build a base, and you build bases everywhere, and that's where the building comes in.
Okay.
And dude, it's beyond amazing because there's so many weapons to pick up.
Okay.
So you can pick up a bunch of new weapons. You have heroes, basically the leaders of your squad, who go out. And so there's hundreds of different heroes you can choose, which all have different powers. There's ninjas, there's constructors, there's soldiers. Whose main, a soldier is obviously going to be attacking. Yeah. So ranged weapons do more damage, more grenades can be thrown, stuff like that. Ninjas, basically, you're going to have double jump, fast movements. They're going to have melee weapons that do more damage and stuff. So where you see this kind of like almost minute idea of the battling system and doing this on Battle Royale, that is just fully expounded upon.
Flushed out.
I mean, fully. So, I mean, even to the point where you use your hoverboard to get around. Like, dude, it's literally like two different games. It's like, oh, I see where this is coming from. And then you go and you play Save the World, you're like, dude.
How many cooperatives can you get online?
You can play with 4 people.
Okay.
And so basically, any mission you're on, you can send out for help. Or if somebody wants to just join in your mission to help, they can.
That's dope.
And so
it sounds like they make it that easy.
Yeah, definitely. Because I remember playing what was the game that sucked? That shouldn't suck, but sucks so much, and I'm gonna get in trouble if I say it. Because I have some friends who play it. Come on, Brain. God, you're wearing a suit. You're running around. You're flying around. Come on, Brain. Warframe. There it is. Warframe. Oh my God. Okay, shout out to anybody playing Warframe still. I heard that the upgrades are really good. and the new download patches have made it a lot better. But back when I first played Warframe,
played like two rounds of that.
Oh my god,
another free to play.
Yeah, and it was like, I was like, no, it was too saturated. I couldn't do anything on my own, and people were literally dropping into my mission and finishing it. And then I wouldn't get the chance to run around or do anything. But mission over.
Yeah.
And I was like, no Warframe.
I'm not learning at all in this game.
At all, like none. But the same way you felt in Far Cry 5 on the arcade, you just got lost in it. So I honestly stopped playing Battle Royale. Now that I
check that out.
Yeah, you really do. Like it's what you would want from PUBG. Like PUBG, it's like, okay, we're gonna play this thing, but you would want the same way you have with the arcade editor. It's to build something and maybe even play the AI. And that's what you get in Fortnite Save the World. So if you haven't, to anyone who has not, it's like $40. I mean, pay for it. It's cool because...
you sold me, man.
Yeah, right.
I'll get it.
Yeah, it's it. Like, so I've been playing a shit ton of that, like super duper. And so it's funny because somebody asked me last night. They were like, "Dude, you don't even play Battle Royale. I don't even see you playing Battle Royale." And I was like, "I'm playing it right now." And he's like, "No, you're not." I'm like, "You're right."
I will say
I am not.
That sounds more interesting to me than the Battle Royale of Fortnite. I played a couple rounds of the Battle Royale, and I played it, mind you, coming off of PUBG. And there were a couple things about it. There were a couple things about it that initially put me off.
It's a kid game. This is for kids.
Well, there is the level of, in the same way we talked about Nintendo earlier.
The animation.
Yeah, it is a far cartoonier version of a Battle Royale. I can appreciate that, and I totally get that. That's one of the things, but the biggest part for me was you rolling in on more. It's a bus, but it might as well be the same plane.
Yeah,
like
it's a battle bus.
You roll in and start the exact same way, and then you have this storm that closes in on you. Like the game mechanics work, like in that aspect, work very much the same way. And like coming straight off of PUBG, seeing like this other game, I'll try it. I was like, oh, this feels like a knockoff initially. And I acknowledge it is not. Like, I totally acknowledge it's not, in that it has created its own game mechanic that I feel like if you want one game or the other, you're wanting two different things.
Yeah.
Like, the building aspect is very cool. For me, I'm not gonna lie, it's a lot. Like, when I'm trying, I feel you. I've seen people successfully play the game well, where they're creating walls and running and gunning at the same time. And I'm real honest, that's just more than I can handle.
I'm real honest.
Like I know I'm not going to win those games, because I'm with PUBG. It's the realism that draws me to it. It's the ability to take off my backpack, drop my extra gun, and have one gun, like nothing on me, no shirt, hidden in a field, and no one can see me. Like, it is the sneaky hiding aspect of PUBG that sells it to me.
It's not the cars.
No,
it's not that I'm driving around.
The cars are fun, but like when you get closer to the end game, the cars become more and more of a liability.
Yeah, because I see you moving.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
Like, especially for someone who enjoys the sneaky aspect of the game.
Who's in his tidy whities holding a sniper rifle in the grasslands.
Yeah.
Don't breathe.
And
they won't see me.
And I've said I appreciate, like, though, that I totally get why people would play Fortnite over it. Like, it is really fucking frustrating when you spent the last 20 minutes, like, getting these weapons, putting your gun together, like, getting all the various attachments that set you up in the right place, and you're like, okay, I'm going to make one move to that spot over there.
And dead.
Yeah, the moment you pop your head up out of the grass.
Sniped. Head gone.
Blop. And the last 20 to 25 minutes was you fighting nobody.
Yo. And the same thing happens in Fortnite. It's the same shit. It's like, dude, I got all these resources. I went underneath. I got all these cars. I got all this metal. All right, boom. Go ahead. Let me run over here and grab this health kit. Or get popped, like, to red bar. And I'm like, wait. Dead. So, yeah, it definitely has the same energy.
No. I feel like there's a place for both of them, right? Like, I understand why someone would play one over the other in either situation.
I've actually never played PUBG. And it's funny because I remember when PUBG hit, and I remember following the whole wave, being like, "Oh snap, what is this game?" And then like the memes and everything. And I was like, "Oh, this is cool." It's like I've played this game kind of already.
There were some issues because again, I play console, so like I started playing when it dropped for the Xbox. There were some issues with like frame rate and catching up, like with where you were aiming, which are very frustrating for people who are very good at aiming. I'm not always the best gamer. Like I'm not a terrible first person or third person gamer. I'm just not the best. So when I realized that, I was really able to take advantage of that.
You're like, I like this.
Well, when I realized people can't aim, and it feels more like a potato shooter. Like it felt a little bit more like a bunch of people who weren't trained thrown on an island and with guns.
Okay, so you say it has a level of realism to it.
Which
unless you're a sniper, you're not going to necessarily be picking me off.
Exactly, but it got ridiculous at a certain point though, because like I would be 100 yards away from a guy. Like I had this one point, this guy pulled up in a car. I was 100 yards away from him. All I had was a frying pan. And this guy, no, seriously, this guy pulled off, saw me running around with no gun. I'm sure he thought it was going to be an easy kill. So I stopped, waited for him to like aim at me, and then I just moved right to left until he emptied his clip and missed me.
And then beat him with the frying pan.
And then ran up to him and beat him to death with a frying pan. Like
that's got to be the worst way to go. You empty your entire fire at a man who's possibly naked, wearing some Fruit of the Looms in the desert, basically. And you can't hit him, and then he beats you with some cookware.
I felt so bad for that guy.
Yeah, don't put that on my tombstone. How did you go? I don't remember.
Beaten to death with a frying pan? Were you not armed? No, I was.
I mean, I wasn't after I unloaded the whole clip. Yo, what a way to go.
But there were pieces like that initially, like, while I totally get why that would be frustrating for someone who had become really good at those kind of games. It was really satisfying for someone who wasn't really good at those kind of games.
See, and I think that's a part of the game. I think that's a part of the mixture, because it's like, I played several matches on Fortnite where I'm like I said, I get all the resources, I picked up all my guns, I got all my shield, I'm like, okay, let's find somebody to engage. And then all I hear is and I'm like, is that a rocket coming?
Yes,
and I'm just like, wait. You know, and so, I mean, I spent 15 minutes climbing quietly through houses to pick up stuff. So I kind of feel like that's a part of the entertainment, which I think is kind of cool. But I might actually give PUBG a try. I mean, just to say I've tried it, because I mean, I haven't played it. Yeah. Like, it's just like, right as I wanted to play it, Fortnite dropped. And then my neighbor was like, I'm going to do this. And I was playing, I was like, oh, this is sick.
There's just a lot more possibility for like hiding and hidden. Like, and I'm not a sniper by any means, but I will stay on the ground and walk somewhere like for 5 minutes in a crouch position if I had that kind of patience in the game. Like, I'm willing to do that if I know that's going to keep me safe.
Yeah, that's going
to get me there.
I like that.
There's just there's another level to it. I have heard people be like, well, you know, there's a lot more to PUBG, like, because of that, and that PUBG's, you know, more of PUBG is, you know, a chess, whereas the others is checker, and I don't agree with that at all. Both have a very different, they're just both very different mind games you're playing with the other person. Like, the way you're going about it are very different.
Yeah, they have some similarities, but not.
I wish there was a trap, setup. I love that you can set up traps in Fortnite. That is great.
Yo, shout out to anybody playing Fortnite right now who throws traps on the ceiling. That's where I get the kills, bro. Yo, I'm telling you, on the ceiling is where it lives, man. It's just like, oh, for real? Come inside. Spikes to the face. What is this? You know what I'm saying? So...